Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we're here for Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 11. Wait, no, 12. I'm sorry. I just looked at what episode, too, and it says it right on my screen. I'm an idiot. Anyway, yeah, so we're watching episode 12. I've been out of the game a bit. Well, not. I've gotten back into reactions because I've recorded the other stuff for this week, but as for Reincarnated as a Slime, it's been a few weeks because I recorded ahead of time to take a little over a week off and everything, so yeah, I'm getting back into it. As you guys can see, the lighting is a little bit different. I just decided to try turning my ceiling light on as well as my lamp, which usually I just had the lamp because I like it a little dimmer, but I think the quality is a little better when I have better lighting like this. So what I did was I'm using that lamp over there to brighten up my face, like in my front part. And then I took out the bulb that goes right over my head because it shines down right on my head and makes makes the top part of my head extremely bright. And it looks a little weird. And sorry, I was looking over here that whole time because I was looking at my webcam, kind of like describing what it looks like because I can see myself over on this monitor. But yeah, so I just have the back lights on for the ceiling, so it's lighting up the back part of my room, which I think helps clear up some of the noise and some of the blurriness that happens. But anyway, regardless of that, just so you guys know, it looks a little different. Let me know what you guys think of the setup in the description. If you think the other version looks better, I don't know, maybe you guys can do like a comparison and let me know what you guys think if you want. But yeah. So last episode, I was gonna plug my Patreon, description below. That's all I'll do. I won't say any more than that, because I already talked too much. So yeah, last episode, real quick, it was a very funny episode. I do remember that, because I think the previous episode, episode 10, wasn't very impactful for the story. It was, but it wasn't. I felt like it was very slow and wasn't as funny as the other ones. And then 11 was just off the top, and I think I remember that being the case. But we had the weird lizard guy, I can't remember his name now, coming to Rim's place to try to make them work for him, essentially. He wanted them to be like slaves working under him, almost. He didn't actually say slaves, he was nicer about it, but that's basically what he sounded like, though. Like, he didn't want to work together as a team. He wanted him to be in charge. And Gobta beat him up, and then they left and said, come back, another time, and we'll have a real talk. So, I guess we're waiting on that, and then right at the end of the episode, we had, which I can actually see in the first little scene, because I have it up, is the little dryad, I think it was a dryad lady, green ghostly lady, came out of the table, and said that they need Rim to kill the Orc Lord? Maybe it was something like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much all that happened in the last episode, so that's enough recap. Let's get into the episode. Alrighty guys, so like usual, there's going to be a Vimeo link in the description. You're going to click that Vimeo link, it'll send you right to the reaction. In that reaction on Vimeo, you'll be able to watch like the little 10-minute highlight or whatever, and then you'll be able to come back to the YouTube video. Right after this little tidbit is going to be the discussion portion of the episode, where I talk about everything that happened, my thoughts, theories, predictions, any of that good stuff. So yeah, go ahead and click the Vimeo link right now, guys. Okay, that's the end of episode 12. Yeah, so I really like the episode. I will say I'm not a fan of Gabiru, so I'm going to say right off the bat that when I go to edit this video, I'm probably going to have cut out a lot of the Gabiru scenes, so if you guys just got done watching it, and you're wondering why so many of those were cut out, it's because I will keep the ones, like, the parts that I reacted to in, with what, the parts with Gabiru and me reacting, I'll keep in, but a lot of the stuff that Gabiru does, I never thought, I said it during the reaction, and I'll probably keep that part in, but I never thought he was that funny of a character, or his little, underlings worshipping him. It just wasn't my kind of humor. Not trying to bash on him too much, because he's obviously just doing what he thinks is right. But the fact that I didn't really care for his character in the past couple episodes, and now he's doing this shit and, like, ruining the whole plan for all, like, the important characters, um, not a big fan of that. How he's just, like, I thought his confidence was just, like, this goofy thing that he was really gonna be, like, not very confident internally, but try to show his confidence. But I never thought he'd actually go through with something like this, like taking over. But I guess his little underlings just talk up to him so much. And now that he did something dumb like this, it made all his other stuff, like, not be funny. Like, where he talked about thinking that Gobta was the leader of the village because that's the only possible way that he could have lost. Like, I thought that was a little funny at first, but now that I see his, like, reaction because I thought he was, like, joking, putting on a front. But no, now, like, I just think he believes that, and now it just seems really stupid to me. But, that's just my opinion on the character. Not a big fan of him. So, now that we get that out of the way, I like how some of the other things I really want to talk about is I like the lizard leader. So it's not all the lizardmen I like. It's just the Gabiru and his little army. But the leader seemed really cool and very understandable, and he knew, like, what's up. He thought things through and wasn't, like, overconfident. He knew he needed the help and everything, and he executed a good plan to try to wait out for Rim to come and all that. And now I'm wondering how that's gonna be foiled with the whole with them fighting already and powering up the orcs and making them stronger, because it's crazy, because if they kill 100,000 orcs, those other 100,000 are gonna become stronger if they have the time to devour. And if they're doing hit and run tactics, all they're doing is feeding them and making individual orcs stronger along the way. So I think that's going to be something that leads into, like, a bigger conflict with his decisions. And also, I wonder what it's going to be like in 3 days with the leader in jail. Is Rim gonna... Like, I'm curious how Rim is going to handle the situation. Because I know Rim still wants to help, and Rim's still going to want to fight the Orc Lord. I don't think Rim will let the whole village, like, all the lizardmen get wiped out because of Gabiru. I'm hoping that he will release the leader, and kind of, like, convince the lizardmen that Gabiru isn't a real leader. Like, look at what your leader did. Made the orcs, 100 times stronger along the way, and now everyone's gonna die because of it and everything, and, get the other leader back in charge, and then talk and have a good plan or something. I don't know. That's just a possibility, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that and getting into, like, the fight. I look forward to seeing everybody's capabilities, because we learned this time, I don't know if we knew before, that Soe could use the, like, spider threads, like Rim can. So that's very interesting. It makes me wonder what other abilities he has that was passed down, and what other abilities that everybody else has that was passed down, which is pretty cool. And then, I guess to talk about the beginning of the episode a bit, was Rim talking to the Dryad, and it was very interesting how the Dryads know everything that happened in the forest. So they know that Rim and Veldora were friends. They might even know that Veldora dwells within Rim. And then they know about, the Predator skill. They know about his goals for, like, finding the Demon Lord for Shizu. I couldn't remember. I almost forgot her name at first. And so they, like, manipulated him using those goals and everything. So it's very, very interesting how they have so much information, and I wonder if they would ever utilize that against Rim, but I feel like they recognize Rim as like a decent person, and that's why they felt confident enough to appear before him and everything. So that's something that's really cool. And then something else I want to talk about is the whole Goblin Lord having a unique skill, the whole starved thing that affects all of his people that serve under him, which is very reminiscent of Rim, how Rim is affecting everyone under him and giving him some of his power in a sense. And then also there's something I guess that's what I wanted to talk about. I was thinking like I should write it down so I don't forget, but I managed to remember. The representation of the orcs as the pigs and then giving them this ability is kind of interesting because pigs will eat anything that you put in front of them. They will eat like other pigs, you know, if you like yeah. They will literally eat anything. It's actually terrifying. So that being said, I think that it was a very interesting choice. I wonder what came first. Do you think they drew the orcs as pigs? Because we know, like, anybody that's played, like, World of Warcraft or watched, like, Lord of the Rings or other, you know, fantasy stuff, orcs don't typically look like pigs. It's a definitely, like, different design choice. So I'm curious if they designed them to look like pigs, and then we're like, what's the feature of pigs? Oh, they eat anything? Let's give them this ability. Or did they have this ability they wanted that just devoured everything, and they were like, oh, let's draw them as pigs because they devour anything. Like, I wonder which came first. Just something I think about sometimes. It's kind of interesting. But, yeah, let me, I'm gonna skim through the episode real fast and just see, because I don't know if I really have anything else to talk about too much. I liked how when I guess that's one thing I'll talk about real fast. When Soe showed up at the Lizardman, I knew it was Soe, but it was still really cool seeing their reaction because one thing we haven't had yet is a way to tell how strong our new Kijins are, the ogres that were evolved into the higher breed. We know they're stronger than the ogres were, and the ogres were already pretty strong when we were first introduced to them. So, but we never had anything to gauge it against. And that one warrior chick seeing one of the guys and judging that he could take out like 100 of their finest warriors and still not like stand a chance. It was very cool to see that kind of intimidation. In my opinion, I really like that, and I've always loved that kind of thing in anime where they're like, oh, you know, like I know. I actually haven't seen a lot of Dragon Ball, and that might be something I do on this channel eventually, because I've only seen one or two episodes, and then I hear what people talk about, so I know about, like, the whole, like, this guy's power level is over 9,000, you know, stuff like that, but that's the kind of stuff I like in shows where, like, oh, this guy's power level is insane, and everything, and, it's always very intense. I love that cliche, but yeah, so since we haven't had a power scaling for them yet, it's really cool having that be a thing in the episodes. So yeah. I like how Rim takes his time and talks about things. It doesn't just decide off of the, like, original, or, like, you know, some characters will make their decisions on a whim and then regret what they do later. So that was interesting. And then we had the I was just skimming through again, and we had the whole what was his name? Lampless, something like that. Lapless. His name was something like that. It was an underling of Gelmid, who is an underling of a demon lord, and he seemed very suspicious. He seemed like he wanted Gabiru to go after the orcs. Although they were already planning on doing that because the orcs were going to them. So I don't know why he was warning them, but he didn't seem like he had good intentions. The way he like glared at him, a zoom in of his face and everything, and just the fact that he's an underling of a demon lord is very interesting. I wonder what they're up to with Gabiru. You know, because they gave him a name, so why did they give him a name? I wonder if they want Gabiru in charge of the Lizardmen and then they want to abuse that somehow. And also, I wonder if Gelmid has anything to do with the Orc Lord's, like, creation, or coming, you know? Because we saw that one, I think they call them Majins, the, like, guys in masks that can name people. We saw one, was that Gelmid at the Orc? Did we get a name? I think we did, right? Gelmid, because he named the Orc Geld and said that he'd be part of the Great Orc Disaster or something. So I think that does confirm that Gelmid is behind the orcs, possibly. Like, maybe it's more complex, but yeah, I'm thinking that Gelmid is a big part of these orcs. So that means that somehow Gabiru fits into this plan with the orcs in a way that I just don't see yet. Maybe he could tell that Gabiru was an idiot and is manipulating his stupidity to make it so the orcs get to feed on all of them. You know? Maybe. I'd like to believe that. That the only reason... That'd be funny for Gelmid to show up and Gabiru to be like, oh yes, you're here, you can help save us! And him just be like, no, actually, I just wanted you in charge because you're an idiot and I want all of your people to be eaten by these orcs. And he's just like, no, I'm stupid! And then the episode ends. No, I'm just kidding. But... oh, that was the stupidest thing I've said. Anyway, yeah, but I'm curious about how all of this connects back to each other and all that. So, I guess we'll probably see in the future. Yeah. I'm still curious how the humans are in this world, actually. That's one thing. What are the humans like? We had... I wouldn't consider Shizu exactly human, because she was summoned from another world and then had a Ifrit inside of her most of her life. I guess you could say that after the Ifrit was out, she was pretty much human again, but the actual humans, like the adventurers we saw, they didn't seem all that strong. Does that mean none of the humans in this world are all that strong? Like, compared to Rim and the ogres and, you know, possibly even the goblins, the evolved goblins, anyway, the hobgoblins, could stand a chance against the humans we've seen so far. So I'm wondering if there's, like, stronger humans. Like, maybe those adventurers we saw were just weak, you know, lower level entities. But the thing is, we have all these creatures that evolve when they get names, but humans in this world already have names. So does that mean they're already evolved to be as strong as these creatures, or are they just an inferior creature in this world? So I really want to get into some human stuff. I think that would be fascinating. I wonder if they're going to do it before this anime ends, or if they're going to save that for another season. We did see some human-like characters in the intro, but I'm not sure if they're exactly human. They could just be another race that are kind of like the ogres that just took on like a human-like form when they got a name, so I have no idea. And then the Demon Lord looked like he might be human, as well as the kids that Shizu raised in like the orphanage or whatever it was she worked at. I don't know. I can't wait to learn more about this show and everything. So I think that's pretty much all I got to say about this episode. It's a pretty good one, and I look forward to watching the next one. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed as well, please subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. And I will be continuing on these shows. Might be picking some stuff up on the channel. Maybe watching some more videos here and there. Now that I'm back into reactions again, and I have got the early access set up, I'm back to, you know, being able to watch my normal amount each week, and I do have some extra time these days, since I'm out of school for summer and everything, that I will be able to spend more time making videos, possibly, if I decide to, which I probably will. And I might be able to pump out a little more than I have been, or starting another show or two temporarily, or something. You know, it might not be like a permanent slot, or there might be gaps in weeks or something. Like, I might not commit to something every week, but maybe watching another show on the side and popping up episodes here and there. I don't know. But yeah, I'll figure that out as I go. But anyway, guys, yeah, check out, you can go into the description. Sorry, that was weird. I was trying to think about what I wanted to say next. You can go into the description and you can find the link to my Patreon if you want to help support the channel. By supporting the channel, you also gain access to full-length and early access, so if you want to see, you know, the next... If you're watching on YouTube right now and you want to see the next episode, it'll be up on Patreon right now, and you can also see full-length, too, which will be uncut. You can see the full episodes, everything. And then, yeah, as for my anime list, which you can see as another link in my description, you can go there and you can check out all the shows I have seen and all the shows on my plan to watch. If you guys want to recommend any shows, make sure I haven't seen it yet, so please check my anime list, look at the completed stuff and the plan to watch. And then if you, like, don't see something on there and you're like, I want you to watch this, let me know in the comments. I'll add it to the plan to watch, and then when I go to pick a new show to watch, that might be one of the ones I pick. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I am out of here. Bye-bye.